Kenny, Garrett obviously had a really big second half tonight after having 2 points in the first half. What did you think was different for him in the final 24 minutes?
Well, he was obviously more aggressive, but I thought we did a good job of, they went small. They're small, and you punish them two ways. You punish them on the switches, which I thought we found them down low when they switch, and then he punished them on the offensive boards. So it was a little bit. That was our strength. Their strength was, 5 out and playing 5 guards, and he was a absolutely dominated the second half.
And then Donovan hit some shots tonight, which I'm sure was a really good sign to see. But he also set a career high in assists. What did you think of the playmaking?
He changed the game because we started out poorly. His stint was not good. His first stint, and that second stint, he came in. They packed the paint. I mean, extreme paint packing, and he started spraying the ball, around. Once he got it out of their tight shell, then we started making decisions behind that, and that kind of broke the game out. So his understanding, his reading of the game is elite. Changed the game. Excuse me.
Coach, we saw Sam Merrill have some big minutes tonight, 3-pointers, cutting to the basket, getting into defensive sets and all those things. What have you seen from Sam on both ends of the ball this season that has allowed you to stick with him?
Man, we just we trust him on both ends. It's not just all the offense and like what you said, he's generating offense even when he's not shooting, right? He runs all those ghost screens, he cuts, he just turns the defense up. Quite honestly, that's why we started him against Portland the other night, because we knew we needed more actions than just pick and roll with DG and Don. So he gives you that guy that's off the ball, you're just running around and making things happen.
Speaking of stints, Isaac Okoro had a really good first stint. Was just coming off the bench, giving you guys a jolt, had more points than we've seen from him in quite some time. What did you think of his first stint and how that kind of changed the aspect of the game?
Really good, and I'm looking. We really debated to get him back in at the end. He probably deserved to play at the end. That's how well he played, and we went back and forth. We stuck with Dre, which worked out, but he really deserved to play at the end of the game. He was fantastic on both ends.
Daryl.
Hey, Daryl.
We talk a lot about Jarrett and just how whatever you ask of him, he does. When you need him to have a big night tonight, he has the big night. When you need him to take a step back for somebody else, he does. Just what can you say about Jarrett's team mentality?
Yeah, and he never misses a game, right? Like he backs. Like, I don't know how he does it energy-wise. I was expecting, and I think in the first half his energy was pretty down. I was concerned. Even shortened his minutes a little in the first half. I'm like, man, Jay doesn't have it tonight, which is normal with all the games he's backed up. But man, he knew what we needed. He knew we needed him to punish their small ball lineup, just key to our victory tonight. Number one key to our victory was Jarrett Allen.
The flow there, especially in that third quarter, just kept getting disrupted by all those all those replay reviews.
Yeah.
What did they ultimately tell you on the Tristan upgrade to flagrant 2?
I think they said it was an elbow to the head. The fact that it was to the head is caused a flagrant 2. I didn't look at the replay, but where I am on the replay. I sympathize with you guys. I sympathize with the fans, like the reviews and the challenges. I prefer the game flowed more, and I thought we were getting that way with the NBA, where we're shortening the games, and it's got to go. But every review, you're sitting there it seems like forever. It just kills it for the crowd, kills it for the players. So I just, however they can limit those reviews and including the challenges, I'm voting yes. The game's gotta flow better. There's too much stoppage, in my opinion.
Javante came in there in the fourth, give Donovan a break. I think he played like a 3-4 minute stretch. Is that the role you envisioned for him in the playoffs, to come in? He gave you a 3, but he also gave you a possession tip back, and it's just like those things kind of go over people's heads, I think.
Really good find. That's exactly why we signed him. Exactly for that. He's got to be a pinch hitter. He's got to come in and he's got to, get us an extra possession, get us a rebound. And then he's not afraid of them. I thought that 3 hit was big. He passed the first one up, threw it to Max. We got the offensive rebound. Then he hit the 3. He's a winner. He knows what we need. He knows his role, and his athleticism is unique, and he's got a pop and a feel to get extra possessions. Really, really glad, we got him. He's done everything we've asked so far.
I think in the second half you guys did a better job, and it looks like the offensive boards were another thing that kind of gave you some problems tonight. Is there anything you can do better, just from keeping guys from crashing from the corner, or just being around the rim a little better? I'm
going to call Tom Izzo on the phone and get some advice. I always say I'm not a rebounding coach. I have to find a better way to help these guys, because we're getting smashed right now. I mean, 19 offensive rebounds against Portland, 19 against tonight, and when you're your defense can be fine or good, and then you're giving these extra possessions. It's too hard. Teams are too good, and we got to find a way to rebound better as a team.
Coach, you talked about Donovan's assist earlier, and I think you had one against Utah. You had one tonight, the one-handed pass across court to the corner. Do you ever just kind of sit back in awe of some of the passes that Donovan's capable of making?
That's the baseball, I don't know. He's like, he could just I think of like a center fielder just gunning it to home plate. Like he's just, and he doesn't need a lot of motion, right? He doesn't need a wind up. It's just and the ball is just an absolute dart. To me, there's very few players in the league that have, LeBron's one of them. I always felt like playing LeBron. It was like, if you shift off 1 millimeter, he's going to fire not only a great pass, but an absolute dart to the shooter, and you can't even, you're just stuck. And Donovan's in that class. He did it multiple times tonight. I think the first one he had was the one to the corner. He's on the right side. He threw it to the corner. They're shifted. Boom. They don't even move, and then you got a wide open 3. So elite skill. Again, I think it's at his multi-sport background that helps him with it.
And to your point about the stoppages, I think fans understand. We want the action to keep going. Can you help them understand from a player's and coach's perspective how important that the rhythm that gets interrupted is to the game?
I just listen to the players, right? And I know, you coach in flow too, right? And then all of a sudden it just stops, and it's hard to get going again. And listen, our crowd, especially our home crowd, how important it is. It's like, man, they stop, and then it takes everybody a while to get revved up again. I just wish we'd limit it. I'd vote for less stoppages, no challenges, none of that. Just more flow to the game. I think it'd be better product.
Would you trade a few 50-50 calls for the
Yes.
stoppages?
Yep. Because I think the refs do a hell of a job, and it's kind of, I'm old school maybe. That's how I grew up. You make a mistake, we make mistakes. They're going to make some mistakes, but keep the game moving, keep it going, keep the flow. I might be in the minority here, but I just think it's better overall for the game.
Cameron and Nick.
When you see Donovan kind of going through a stretch where he's looking for that shot to fall and figuring that out, do you also see him making a concerted effort in assisting in other ways in the game, in those assists, and kind of putting himself in other places? Is that something?
Yeah, and I still don't think he's hit his groove. I know he had a great game tonight, but he's a little off, and but he does find a way. He helps us defensively. Donovan, we'll put him on the best player. We don't hide him at all. He's involved in the important defensive possessions. Got a few big boards tonight. And then just as like you say, his overall IQ helps us, right? And it's not just him, but moving the chess pieces around, talking to our guys. So it's so much. He's not just a strict scorer. He's got so much other things to his game. That's why he's a superstar. So he's a great player because he does it. He helps us in so many different ways.
I don't think we asked, but how nice was it to be home after such a long road trip?
Oh, you know what? I was just thank God for our crowd. Like, I felt like we needed a push. Like we needed some energy. We're we got in at 7 a.m. And I felt like they got us. They kind of got us over the hump. So that was huge. Now we're got to go to Detroit tonight.
Kenny, you had 6 guys in double figures, and that's without Ty Jerome and Evan Mobley. You guys are so ridiculously deep.
Yeah.
Are you starting to dread, thinking about playoff rotation when they come up?
Yeah. Case in point tonight. I mean, without Evan and Ty, Isaac probably deserved to finish, and he doesn't finish. The other night in Portland, we had Max, Dre, and Ty, who had 25 points. They didn't finish the game. So these are really hard decisions. But I'm constantly talking to the team. This is what it takes. You have to be selfless, and you have to support your teammate, and have a positive spirit. You might deserve to finish, and you don't. And I think that's a record we have. Why we have the record we have, because we got a selfless group, and they understand what it's all about. But it's going to be, when it starts to get crunch time and the tough, it's going to be hard decisions on this coaching staff. Everybody said, well, it's a good problem to have, but it's tough. It's part of the job.
Last one, Gabrielle.
Yeah.
Kenny, DG a little cold from the field tonight, but
Yeah.
still contributes with 9 assists and a few boards. Can you just talk about why his leadership is still so valuable and to put in all those minutes?
He hit the dagger 3. I think it was 1 for 7. We got the offensive rebound. I forget who threw it out to him. Struggling, not shooting the ball well, and boom, he hit clutch DG. They're gonna come up with a nickname for him. He's just and his his spirit's right. He's struggling and not playing well, and got that big steal also. And then kicked it ahead to Don, and Don throws it to JA. So not a great game overall, but when it was money time, he made the key plays.
Okay, gonna wrap it up.
All right, thanks everybody.